We don't come on top property matter for this year 2022. First and foremost, make we thank everybody who stay with us from the beginning of last year to the end of last year. We wanna make sure say una no dey miss am. We wanna dey learn one or two things on top this show. Most definitely, 2022 promises to be better and bigger. And the man wey dey make am possible for us, we be say na him dey take us through this journey on top property matter. Now, no other person but Engineer Debo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief.
I should be saying Happy New Year.
Yes, so Abi, we should be saying Happy New Year to our viewers also. Okay. Your beards they are more lush and whiter this year.
Yes, because the year itself, it start on a very good note for everybody. So it promises to be a good year.
Yes, so it has no choice than to be a good year. It has no choice. I think one of these days I will take after this your type of cap. I actually have it in the car. I don't know why I forgot it.
It's quite it in the car. It's very good. It's royal. It's
royal.
Yes, it's royal. Filala
Happy, filala no. Good morning, viewers, and Happy New Year to you all out there. We believe that you've been enjoying yourself. We thank God that we all survived 2021. I mean,
that's the word.
Well, a lot of people said survive, but then we thank God that 2021 is over. We are now in 2022. We are alive and well. That is enough to thank God for. And once you are alive and well, to he that is living, there is always a miracle that can happen. So that's why we are here. And today we want to look into 2022.
Yes.
And see wetin fit happen. What can wetin go sup as they talk am for pitching. Wetin go sup for property matter, for property market for 2022. What can we look into the crystal ball?
Have a periscope.
Exactly, and see, just try to think out what will likely happen this year. Of course, that will be informed from what has been happening, the trend from last year, and some of the things that are meant to take place this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely a very good topic because now the best way to start the year be this.
Yes,
Let us make we peep, make we see how the year 2022 go be property-wise. To take even know, okay, this year, last year, the one where I no fit complete, shall I fit complete am this year. This year, wetin be the rate of inflation so far vis-a-vis how e go dey affect the issue of buying and selling, because we no fit shy away from the fact that economic situation get role wey e dey play on top property matter.
Major role now. Economic and social situations definitely impact on what turns out in property matter issues. So definitely. So a few things to, like I said, it has to be informed from happenings, trends, and all. So if we just go through a few things, we know that, for example, some of the activities that have been laid out towards the end of last year and into this year, we know that a lot of, number one thing we need to realize for this year 2022 is that it's a pre-election year.
Yes.
Election will be in 2023, right?
Sure.
February, I guess, that will be election, and then they will swear in by May, right? Is that not so?
Sure, something like that. The calendar
so this year is a campaign year. Pre-election year is a campaign year. And as it is customary, every government that is in power this year would like to retain power.
Sure.
Either the incumbent, if he still has a second chance, go for a second term, or if he has exceeded his own 2 term, try to hand over to another person from his party. Not that the party will lose. Okay, so what that informs is that they would try all their possible best to make sure that people are happy. So
that's true.
They will try all the possible best to make sure that people are happy. So a lot of times,
Baladu go dey like circulate money.
You see, so a lot of times it's a 50-50 chance, depending on where you belong. Yeah. So for some states and government entities, they will push out funds into some construction, some infrastructure to make life easy. So contractors who deal in such things, currently, who win those contracts will probably not have so much challenge getting paid. You understand?
I understand.
Meanwhile, they may also be saying for some that they are owing before that have delivered the job.
Remember,
The excuse may be that give us time. No money now. Meanwhile, they are using the money too. So that's why I say it's a 50-50. But for the general public, we would see more activities. I mean, and we can see this already from the things that have been pronounced. For example, the FEC, Federal Executive Council, approved about 65 billion, for power projects. I think was that recently or last month, really. Okay, so 65 billion for power projects was approved. Also, we know that for road construction and all, NNPC and federal government, that their partnership is estimated at a total of 621 billion for road construction. So you can imagine if 65 billion is spent on power, 621 billion is spent on road construction. It will filter into the economy,
of course,
one way or the other. So, and that would ensure that some people who probably did not have so much before, they now have some money that they can spend. Also, Lagos State is preparing to go to the market to raise a bond of about 137 billion, also to be spent on infrastructure.
I even see the one where they make noise for a Koroduna. We be say, she understand that still low housing estate. I begin low cost housing.
Low cost housing.
We be say it's still on infrastructure.
Okay.
So, like you rightly said, to join you, well, this pre-election year, we should expect a lot in circulation, which in return, it go see affect.
It go enter people's pockets and it go affect markets.
And if you
because,
go,
yeah,
sorry to cut you.
Go ahead.
If you go the way where you talk am, that means say even let us even bring it down. Let's narrow it down. People go pay their landlord on time. If you go,
as in if it filters down.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, if it filters down, and also don't forget when there are infrastructure improvements, it impacts, it dictates, and also encourages more construction, housing. So for people who then have monies to invest, they will now see opportunities in places that are of interest to them because the basic or primary infrastructure is being supplied by the government now. Do you understand? So that also helps. Don't also forget that Lagos State also promised monthly rents. The monthly rent scheme.
Last week.
Yes.
Last month.
No, this month. It's January.
They talk about that since December.
Yes, of course. It's supposed to start. Yes, it's supposed to start January. So, if the modalities are out, people should. I've not heard that the modalities are out, but people should be on the lookout. We will also be on the lookout. Once the modalities come out, you should be rest assured that we'll discuss it here and guide you as to how you can go about it. But that is one thing that will likely happen this year if government fulfills its promise, and that would impact on the property market because it will now mean that people can more comfortably afford their rents
and choose the kind of house where they feel that this one I want.
Things like that. It could be easier for them to achieve. Now, one dicey thing that may likely throw some spanner into the wheels of the year,
into the cog of process.
Is this subsidy. Oil subsidy removal. If the oil subsidy is actually removed, we don't need a prophet to tell us that will be another round of inflation.
Okay.
Because fuel prices will go up, transportation will go up. Once transportation goes up in any economy, it almost affects everything because
people where they supply sand self, they will get excuse.
Everything. And fuel, once fuel goes up, the industries will use it, transportation, everybody uses fuel. So it impacts on the economy.
If they even touch house rent.
That's what I'm saying. It will impact on the economy. Once it doesn't impact on the economy, of course, there is no part of the economy that can be saved. So what we fear is that there will be inflation, okay? And that will mean that property prices would increase. both rental and construction. I mean, purchases.
You in the big real estate world, sir, would you advise that this might be a good year to sell for those that would like to trade properties?
You see, I don't usually encourage people to try and time the market.
Speculation is part of this business.
Yes, so I don't usually encourage people to do that. You know why it is not? I think you should sell when it makes sense for you to sell. What do I mean by that? If you think you've gained enough value to sell, because if you're a property investor, for example, now if you sell your stock now, think because prices have gone up and so it's good to sell, don't forget you will buy another one. Mm-hmm. So you buy the other one at the high price of the one you've sold also. So at the end of the day, you are neither here nor there, is what I'm trying to say. So that shouldn't be the reason why you sell or you buy. There will be other reasons. If you see opportunities, why not? You can sell what you already have and you've built appreciation value there, and then to buy an opportunistic property. Why not? You know, so, but don't just time the market in terms of properties are going up this year, so let me sell. And then when they come down, I will buy. Properties don't go up and down like that. You know, it's not stock, it's not capital market.
The bull, the bear, and the stag.
It's not capital market. For property prices to go down, most of the time, it would require serious economic recession. You know, and sometimes they actually don't go down; they just stay. Yes. They just stagnate for some time at the price, you know, at the price and all of that. So but there would always be opportunities. There would always be properties that you can get for a bargain. There will always be below the market value opportunities. So you should look out for those ones, and they are always there, rather than timing the economy to buy at recession. And when recession comes, of course, buy. If you have cash, you make much money that time, you know. But then, if you don't have to be waiting to time it, is what I advise people. So, monthly rent, I mean, we're talking about subsidy, which will likely cause inflation.
Affecting most things.
So, property prices. So, be prepared, though. You start seeing rent reviews. Because, you know, a number of landlords, they've taken serious hits. During COVID, they were not able to, because they were considerate, even though things increased, you know. Some increased their, you know, exactly. After COVID, some increased slightly, but you see the inflation we experienced in 2021, some have not caught up with it up till now. Then, plus this one that is now coming, there is no way. For example, if you didn't get a review in 2021, you can almost be certain that you will get your rent review in 2022. Especially whether or not this subsidy takes place, you will get a review. I doubt if you won't. But when it takes place, and if it takes place, it's even a more assured fact that you will get review. And it will be quite reasonable a review. Yes, because the impact, especially if the subsidy takes place, the impact of that subsidy is actually going to be quite reasonable. So,
I don't want to say maybe Engineer Debo is chaos.
No. I'm just preparing our minds. Yeah.
That's even what the program is all about, to let us know what is pragmatic. Make we prepare our mind. Make we know, say, okay, now like this is go for this year 2022. If you know can't go up, good enough for you. But if you do, at least you yourself don't learn one or two things from this program, say, make it prepare your mind. Let's go on this shaking break. Most definitely when we come back, Engineer Debo go still they help us peep into the year 2022 property-wise. Go nowhere. Welcome back. Now still Property Matta 9. What they do on top WAP TV, and Engineer Debo here today enlighten us. They tell us things we'll go expect property-wise come this year 2022, because the year we don't begin, and a lot of activities don't they shell, and the ones we go still shell, we will come shape or affect the prices of property this year 2022. So, sir, the last one we will stop. The first one you tell us about, say, make we expect, say, this in a pre-election year. That one feel favorable, because you make us believe, say, jegre if you dey inside circulation they go pump jegre for
Which
circulation.
one be Jegre?
Na money.
Eh.
Yes.
So
na
that's
money
the
jegre.
new
Na
money for
na
new slang for.
the kí wọ́n máa ń pè pidgin for money jegre.
It's a new one, yeah.
I
I want to be sure whether it's that
No be new,
that
new.
old or what.
No be new.
Jegre.
Jegre don tey.
Okay.
Pepper jegre.
I know Pepe, but Jegre, I know. I just dey learn that one.
Say jegre go dey well
Okay,
for
oh.
town. And another way in tell us say also if we dey happy if we dey look that one make we also dey get am for the back of our mind say the issue of subsidy fit shele and if that one shele say e go affect e go touch that's removal of subsidy say e go touch every other thing. Na those two things im don prepare our mind on top. So possibly may we go to the third one now, sir.
I don't measure like 5.
Okay.
But no problem. Let's go on to the other one. So, you know that the appropriation bill has been passed. You know, so we have a bill of 17 trillion. 17 trillion. It was increased from 16 by the Senate to 17. And they passed it. And the benchmark for the oil price was increased from 57 to 62.
Okay.
So the implication of that is that the benchmark is 62.
Okay.
If oil price should fall below 62 in this year,
Okay.
it means that this our capacity to meet this budget will be challenged. You know, this 17 trillion budget will be challenged greatly. And we all know now that a larger chunk of this, I've not really analyzed that budget totally, but the larger chunk of it, I suspect as usual, almost in our whatever, is debt servicing, you know. So
Okay.
because of the heavy debt that we are carrying as a nation currently. So that's it, because 17 trillion, you would think that 17 trillion sounds very, you know, looks like very healthy, sizable
Yes.
budget in a way, but the bulk of it will be spent on loan servicing, you know. So capital expenditure here may not be so fantastic. We just have a lot of recurrent expenses, especially debt servicing. So that's where we are. But most importantly, let's pray that oil prices do not go below, so that we can have below 62, so that we can have the capacity to carry out this budget and at least maintain things as they are and not that they go worse as it is, you know. So federal government also announced a 5-year plan for housing, a national
5-year plan for
housing,
housing.
yes, a national development plan, housing, talking about 50,000 plots per state, you know. So knowing that the way things are, I want to hope that they will be able to...
You are going in the line of continuity.
You
now.
know, exactly, because you are going next year. You are starting a 5-year plan. You've been around for some time. The bulk of the plan you said you were going to do, we've not really seen them materialize like that.
So it's just our prayer.
You understand?
That
So
the plan is still being
so
achieved.
we hope
5-year
that,
plan for
we hope
housing.
that your 5-year plan, whoever is coming after you,
Okay.
definitely has to be able to continue for it to be actualized.
50 plots per state.
Yes, that's what the federal government is planning to develop. 50,000, not 50
Okay.
plots.
50,000 plots
Per
wow.
state, yeah.
Wow.
Then the good thing also regarding infrastructure, Lagos State said that they are on track. They assured us, and they still renewed their promise that the red and blue line, rail lines, should be commencing by the fourth quarter of this year.
Okay.
Should be ready by the fourth quarter of this year. What that means is that transportation will be aided, you know, and it will definitely impact on the property market, because people will then be able to move along the lines of these
Yes, now because
railways.
if we look at ourselves,
And
the transportation they make some people no stay for some place. If to say easy transportation dey, tell
Yes.
if I get to this place by 7, I go, and you know the railway no dey get hold up. I go reach my work by 8.
Yeah.
Kilomita you gbin Sango.
Do you know that there are people right now who now commute from Lagos to Ibadan?
Daily.
I'm not
Yes,
sure of daily.
but I'm sure of the weekend.
I'm not sure
very
of
sure of
daily.
weekend.
But they easily commute
where the
from
railway
Lagos
line.
to Ibadan,
Benny.
where the railway line
Benny.
since it's been.
I have a friend whose family is in Ibadan. He works in Lagos. Monday to I think Thursday, by Friday he's already back. And a railway go enter.
You see?
So, and he talks about the easy access, the luxury, because the thing they do and where we say. So with that, housing needs to serve. It go reduce the problem on housing for Lagos. It go the body go easy, because if we get house for suburb for outside outskirts of the town, you ought to do wahala aleku.
Yeah.
So transportation, I believe, sir,
Yeah.
will definitely ease the problem
Yeah.
of housing.
Yeah. So
they
we
won't
hope
work on
that
railway.
would. Yes, we hope that would railway will be delivered as they said. You know, that period, the last quarter of this year.
Last quarter should be that anything from September, August, September.
No, October, November, December.
November. Yeah.
October, November, December. So these are some of the things that we hope will play out in the whole economy this year, and that would affect property market. So by and large, if you look at it, I would say that opportunistic transactions are still available. People should look
Watch
out
out
for it if you are interested, because there will be people that all of this will be too much for. Note that relocation is still happening. A lot of Nigerians are leaving the country. And so a number of them, when they want to leave, they want to sell their assets, and sometimes they don't have enough time, so they are under pressure to sell.
To quickly sell.
So if you have funds with you, you can always get some opportunistic purchases, you know, get things below the market. Because somebody who ordinarily should sell his house for, let's say, 50 million, but he's under pressure, he needs to move to Canada, to UK, to whatever, and he wants to have that money secured in his pocket, so he knows that he has the money. Not that he will leave the transaction here and say, when you sell the money to me. If he sees 45, some of them 40, they will just collect and
Let
go.
me have it and go.
You know? So those are also going still to be there. I'm not sure there is any trend that one can envisage or foresee right now that is stopping the movement of Nigerians outside of this country. So people are moving outside. There will be opportunities. And then let's hope that the economy picks up globally also, and that we can have money coming. People sending in money also to do transactions.
You know, that one said we get us the effect.
It was affected towards the end of last year, actually. Less money came in compared to what would have or what has been the trend before, you know. So, but I think that is also the impact. You know, Omicron,
Yes.
you know, spiked last year. And so let's hope that all of that would improve, especially this pandemic, this, issue of, what's it called, COVID, you know, is addressed more positively, so that people can get a hang of it, and we can start to live our lives whether or not there is COVID or there is a variance of it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
You're
Engineer
welcome.
Debo. You have taken us through what we should expect in this year, 2022, as regards property market. Most definitely, when we go come your way again next week, we'll look at something new. From myself and Engineer Debo, will say,